Welcome back. God bless you and God bless America. I'm your host, Steve, and this is the Liberal Letdown. We've got a few stories today. One very serious one. One we're going to make fun of Don Lemon, and then we're going to kind of rag on LeBron a little bit, and people who think that Common Core education is actually helping. We're going to start off with Don Lemon, because he's just stupid. He's just so dumb. So, they're talking about Antifa on CNN. And Don Lemon is explaining that Antifa was in Charlottesville, something that these people cannot let go of. For some reason, I feel like this is the only thing that they can say, oh, wow, we feel like we got Trump on something. He's a racist, and this is why. Because he didn't act fast enough when dealing with an altercation that ended up with a woman dying because of a piece of shit hit her with his car. Don't get me wrong. People that were there, they're garbage. They're awful human beings. Everybody has said that. The president has said it. The president said it before that situation, which CNN conveniently ignores. And yet they keep going back to it. They keep going back to it. Nobody likes white supremacists. Nobody. They're dumb. They're really, really dumb. Nobody likes them. They're stupid. But to stick up for Antifa and then to say that no organization is perfect, that's his leading line. What? So one of his guests, CNN's White House correspondent Abby Phillips, to associate Antifa, which is an anti-fascist organization, closely with mainstream Democrats is a little bit of a stretch. A little bit of a stretch. They are fascists. They are fascists in their own doing. They claim to be anti-fascist. However, their physical actions are abundantly fascist. They are what they hate. Plain and simple. They are exactly what they hate. People say that, they say in this clip that Antifa was really formed and took off after Charlottesville. That's bull. Because Antifa was there. Antifa was at Charlottesville. Antifa was doing violent things before Charlottesville. Here's a quote. It says, right in the name, Antifa, anti-fascism, which is what they were fighting. Which is what they were there fighting, is what Don Lemon said. They weren't. No Nazi with a torch was beating anybody at that point. Not that I know of. Yes, a woman lost her life. Everybody has called these people out for what they are and said it's disgusting. Why can't Democrats as a whole, the left as a whole, cannot call out Antifa for what they are? They don't. They are disgusting kids. They're kids. And they're teachers. They're professors that were babied. And they're a bunch of kids that have never been out in the real world. And that's why when they get in a fight with actual men and sometimes women, they get their asses beat and they go running away. That has happened time and time again. All you see is videos of it. Hitting people with mace. Which eventually, you keep using that, and it's going to end up being regulated. And you're going to look at that. You're going to have to register your mace. It's so rampant that all these protests and these. Obviously, you're allowed to sit there and say that you disagree with somebody. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. That's why I do a show, because I don't agree with Don Lemon because he's a shit person, and these people talk like their parents are related. When they say things like, well, no organization is perfect, they literally, their aim If you've ever watched Steven Crowder, he did not a gotcha segment, but him and at the time his producer Jared infiltrated Antifa, and they were planning to bring AKs to a rally and shoot people. They handed Jared a knife. I mean, they were just doing. They had encrypted stuff on their phones. I mean, these are kids planning all of this, all because of difference in belief. Nobody has done anything violent to anybody. These kids aren't just beaten up because they get beaten up. Nobody goes looking for them to beat them up. This is difference in politics. It's not even politics. It's at that point they're so young. And I'm not saying I'm old. But what I'm saying is high school kids, college kids, just starting to do their own thing. Oh, well, yeah, I want to be for everybody, and everybody should do this. And I think, you know what, I think we should do anything necessary to make sure everybody's happy. So, to fight so-called fascists, you're going to bring AKs to a peaceful rally. I believe it was a rally for Ted Cruz. And just shoot people. And have knives to stab people, because you don't use knives, to, wave at people. Oh, organization's perfect. You're right, Don Lemon. You're a retard. Let's go. Let's make fun of LeBron. I want to make fun of LeBron because LeBron's an idiot. And these people who make fun of Betsy DeVos and her education program, and what's going on in Utah right now, it's just very infuriating, because here let me read this. Title of the article: DeVos Education Department strong arms quote unquote Utah parents. Okay, a grassroots parent organizer in Utah says her state is a good example of how Betsy DeVos' Department of Education is still forcing states to comply with federal mandates that go against the wishes of parents and elected officials. Go against the wishes of parents and elected officials. So what? Because why? I don't know. Schools make up their own stuff. Everybody loved when Obama came out with that dumb Common Core shit. And literally, and they talk about Common Core in here. And, it'd be a great thing if Common Core was gotten rid of. It was done, but it's not. And, if you've ever talked to a kid who's gone through Common Core math, you look at them, and after a conversation, you kind of ask yourself, I can't believe he's not wearing a helmet. And it's the truth, and it's sad. And I'm not great at math anymore. I don't really necessarily do work in an environment that forces me to use it on a daily basis. And I just think, why? You're setting up, you're complaining about a school system that Obama literally destroyed. He gave millions upon millions upon millions to inner city schools that literally did nothing. It helped nobody. The grades didn't go up. Attendance didn't go up. Nothing changed. You threw money at a situation, and it did nothing. So it only hurt the country, right? Because it's taxpayer funded, public schooling. I think we're all in agreement there. So the whole making fun of LeBron thing is, you guys are going to complain about a system, and what was it here? Goes against the wishes of parents and elected officials. LeBron opened a school. ESPN ran the story stating, making it clear that it was his. It was his school. He's doing it. It's all about LeBron. And it turns out that it's going to be a school for kids who are troublemakers, who are pieces of garbage because their parents suck and can't raise kids. It's only going to be for specific kids. And the taxpayers are flipping 85% of the bill. Now, when they graduate, they get scholarships to Akron. Yeah, they bump out other kids that earn those scholarships too, because Akron's not just going to hand out more scholarships. So because these kids are troubled youths, okay, that's what it's being hailed as. School for troubled youths. It's a public school that not everybody can attend. So you want to talk about federal mandates? How about this is a public thing? This is an Akron thing. This is a city, a local thing that not all kids can go to. That is going to be primarily black. And all people who work, their taxes are going to this. LeBron has literally created a public segregated school. And nobody's talking about this. Nobody's actually pissed about it. And you're going to complain about the Department of Education funding your schools and teaching your kids. At least your kids can go to this school. I mean, right? I mean, the vast majority of kids don't even have the option to go to that school. You have to be a troubled youth. Call me on it. Send me an email. theliberalletdown@gmail.com. Send me an email. We'll talk about it. And to probably the biggest story that came out today that nobody has talked about whatsoever. And it is infuriating. 3 extremist Muslim New Mexico compound suspects released after judge drops all charges. So, for those of you who don't know, I've talked about this at least twice now. There was a compound found in New Mexico. A literal compound. Just some shitty tents, tires, trashed compound. No running water. No efficient bedding. Compound. And these people sat there and they held 11 kids. Well, I believe it was 12. 11 survived. 1 child died in this compound, or at least his remains were found in this compound. And these 5 adults were training these kids to shoot up schools. One of the foster parents confirmed this. The father had kidnapped the child that died, and kidnapped that child. And took him to this compound where they buried him, or well, at least where he died. And now this judge has dropped child abuse charges against 3 of them, against 3 of these terrorists, because the prosecutors dropped the ball. Child abuse charges against them were dropped because prosecutors missed the 10-day limit for an evidentiary hearing to establish probable cause. So what more do you need to establish probable cause other than they did not have a roof over their heads in the damn desert, they had no running water, and 1 child died? And I'm pretty sure you can throw in the fact that they were training these kids to shoot up schools as child abuse. Maybe not on them, But on how many kids they were going to shoot up, it is disgusting. It is disgusting that these people get to walk free and that they're not in Guantanamo. Guantanamo. Excuse me. It really is. These women, if you can even call them that, all of them are freaking hideous. They're just disgusting looking. They didn't even claim that these kids were theirs. They said, no, they're not our kids. Turns out they are. They didn't even own it. And then the judge claims there was no child abuse because prosecutors dropped the ball. I gotta be honest, if you're a prosecutor in this case, you're garbage. You are flat out trash. You really need to find a new line of work. This compound had a child dead, 11 kids, malnourished, underfed, not taken care of, being trained to shoot up schools. And this isn't child abuse? I guess I don't know what is then. I don't know what child abuse would be if this is not that. I don't know what more somebody could ask for to be child abuse. It's been very, very disheartening to read and to watch all of this unfold the way it has so far. Alright, I lied. We're going to talk about one more thing. And that is this whole monkey this up comment that DeSantis said down in Florida. And it just so happens that the guy is running against him, Andrew Gillum, is a black dude. So I don't think that this is racist at all. I think this is just it's a phrase. It's a common phrase. And I don't think this is racist at all. I think it's a figment of speech. Even Shep Smith, okay? Shep Smith. He works on Fox. He's really not all that conservative. And he even called this guy out. And Gillum couldn't respond with it. He didn't think that, he didn't say it was racist. And then, but he did say, in the handbook of Donald Trump, they are no longer dog whistles. They are now using full bull horns. This is the phrase you've been hearing across Democrats. Now, mind you, Gillum is running on the very far left platform. Very far left. He wants, legalization of marijuana. In Florida, they want to end the stand your ground law, which is very, really, really bad for gun owners. So he's kind of it's a piece of garbage. Let's be real here. He wants things that are going to hurt everyday people, even though he says he comes from the people, which is whatever. You may come from the people in your own environment, but you're going to say things like monkey this up as racist. I think that your everyday parents that you said was a bus driver and a construction worker, I got to be honest, I know construction workers are going to talk about some serious stuff. So that was obviously learned through schooling. Oh, it's racist. Oh, my friends think that that's bad. Because it's not. I get called all these sorts of things, honky, redneck. all the time. Called a racist all the time. Just because I'm white. I don't call black people by names, anything like that. But by saying monkey this up by voting for Gillum in November. So you think, so what, messing this up? I don't think that would have gotten the point across. You can't cuss. You're on TV. If you're going to sit there and attribute color with an animal every time something like that happens, even when after that, what was it? H&M, that little black kid posed in that hoodie, that with the coolest monkey in the jungle. His mother came out and said, "We got paid to do this. I was okay with this because it wasn't racist. Because white kids wear it too." How many times when you were a kid, your parents say, "Quit monkeying around"? Am I black? No. So for those of you who don't know, because you can't see me, no, I'm a white guy. I'm not black. Grandparents said it literally all the time because we were rambunctious kids. Quit monkeying around. Hey, like monkeys jumping on the bed. It is a literal song for kids. Well, you can't sing it to black kids anymore? Nope, can't sing it if you're black. If you're white, you're racist, so the song's gonna die. Can't talk about it anymore. People are way too soft. You can't hear a phrase? It's words. The man didn't come out and assault you. He didn't throw the N-word in your face. He didn't say get back on a boat. He didn't say anything even remotely racist. He said nothing inflammatory towards this man. I'm sure he said some other things, going through campaigns and whatnot, that he's probably a piece of garbage, and he's probably a corrupt official, and he's going to take your guns, and he just wants people to get high and be bums, yada, yada, yada. And, you look at cities like Denver right now. I got a good friend that lives out there. She's in the military. She says that's all it is. You got needles in the streets. People moved out there because they wanted to smoke pot, couldn't get a job, and now they're bums. That's literally what happened, she said. And I think that people are way too soft. And I think that people sitting there, "Oh, it's not a dog whistle, it's a bullhorn." I think you're a piece of garbage, and I'm just going to keep making fun of you. Well, thank you all for listening. That's it for today. God bless you, and God bless America.